Good evening. It's 6 o'clock, and we're going to call this session of the Planning Commission to order at this point. It looks like we do not have an invocation, so if you'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Kayla.
Connor?
Here.
Kadich?
Here.
Mocha is absent. Sanchez Garcia?
Here.
Borgwart?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Do we have any subsequent need items?
We do not.
Okay, I'll take a motion for approval of the agenda as posted or amended.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Connor?
Yes.
Sanchez Garcia?
Yes.
Kadich?
Yes.
Borgwart?
Yes.
Motion passes.
We're going to move to the next section tonight, as it's the beginning of the year for the Planning Commission, for nomination and appointment of the Planning Commission Chair. So I will open up nominations to the board. Pardon? So I will open up the nominations for nominees for the chair. We'll need a nomination and a second, and anyone can nominate anyone. So let me open up the nominations at this point.
You want to stay one more year? So I'd nominate Don Borgwart to stay one more year. He can do that, right? We can keep him on board?
Yes.
Okay.
Second that.
Okay, so we have Don Borgwart nominated for the Planning Commission Chair. Kadich?
We didn't close nominations yet.
Sorry.
Any more nominations? Sorry. No more nominations, then we'll close the nominations at this point for the chair.
Roll call vote. Kadich?
Yes.
Connor?
Yes.
Sanchez Garcia?
Yes.
Borgwart?
Yes.
Our chair for Planning Commission is Don Borgwart.
Okay, now we will open up the Planning Commission Vice Chair for this year, and we'll accept nominations and second on Vice Chair.
So I'll nominate Mrs. Sanchez Garcia to stay as vice chair, please.
Second. Any more nominations for Vice Chair? Okay, we're nominating board officials, so any nominations you'd like to make?
I would like to Sanchez Garcia.
So if there's no more nominations, we'll close the nominations for Vice Chair.
Okay, roll call vote. Sanchez Garcia?
Yes.
Connor?
Yes.
Mocha?
Yes.
Kadich?
Yes.
Borgwart?
Yes.
Our vice chair is Planning Commission member Sanchez Garcia.
Okay, moving to petitions and communications. Do we have any? None that have come in? Okay. Public hearing, item number 4.
We'll do the approval of the minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I miss that? We need approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Sanchez Garcia?
Yes.
Mocha?
Yes.
Kadich?
Yes.
Connor?
Yes.
Borgwart?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Kayla. So now we'll move to public hearing, item number 4. It's been asked to be continued to the next Planning Commission meeting, and we'll get a staff report from Mr. Holm.
Good evening, Chair and Commission. Thank you. The reason this item needs to be continued is that there was additional information that was shared with staff after the publication already was notified for this meeting at this time, and so we needed to keep it on the agenda, but needed to route to departments this additional information for review, and for that reason, the applicant will have this item come forward. Well, staff will bring this forward to our March, regularly scheduled March Planning Commission meeting.
So knowing that, we'll still open the public hearing for anybody that's come to comment on this particular item. So the public hearing is open. If anybody would like to speak for or against this particular item, they can come forward. And then this item will come back around next month for the board, and a public hearing will be open at that time also. So if you're here for comments, yeah, please feel free to make those down. Not seeing anyone, we will close the public comment period, and we will move to item number 5. Item number 5 is the public hearing to consider adopting a resolution approving conditional use permit number 24-32-0100 and site plan number 24-32-0200 for a mobile food trailer located at 972 Broadway Avenue, Atwater, APN 003-074-029. Mr. Holm?
Yes, thank you. So this is a food truck, or as it's called, a mobile food vendor, and it's located on the southeast corner of First Street and Broadway. This is a 0.22 acre property. Currently has the Sure Stop Market and Quick Serve gas station. There is existing parking on site. There's a list of conditions of approval that have been prepared, and so staff's analysis is, and recommendation is that this project be approved, and that the finding that the project is categorically exempt under CEQA guidelines 15311C, and that's staff's recommendation. If you have any questions, we're here to answer them. Thank you.
Is there any questions by the Commissioner for staff? No? At this point, we'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant in the audience for this? Okay, if the applicant would like to come forward and speak, please state your name and address in the microphone for us.
My name is Luis Olorzano. Address is 1442 Jensen Avenue. My plan is to have a food truck on the location on 972. And that's basically it. We just want to open up, sell tacos to everyone.
Okay, do commissioners have any questions for applicant?
No questions.
I just have one question, something that I had noticed in there. One of the things that you're required to do is actually go to your commissary every daily, on a daily basis, and you show your commissary in Planada.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a...
Yeah, it's going to be a long drive, but
Okay, so that's
it's the
something you
cheapest
can
one.
accomplish then, because I saw you were from Atwater, so I just kind of wondered about, having that commissary so far away, so,
no, yeah, it will work out.
okay.
Yeah, because there was a couple ones in Atwater, but they were like twice as expensive as that one, so we just opted with the cheaper option.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak to this item? Not seeing anybody else, we'll close the public hearing, and we'll bring it back to, I need a motion to make a finding that the project is categorically exempt under California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, Guidelines Section 15311C, accessory structures, and adopt resolution number 0262-24, conditional use permit number 24-32-0100, and site plan number 24-32-0200 for a mobile food trailer located at 972 Broadway Avenue in Atwater, APN 003-074-029. Would anybody like to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mocha,
Yes.
Connor,
Yes.
Sanchez Garcia,
Yes.
Kadich,
Yes.
Borgwart.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Congratulations, sir. Moving on to item number 6, public hearing to consider adopting a resolution approving variance number 24-33-0100 for parking located at 1500 to 1590 Winton Way, Atwater, APN 002-152-023. Mr. Hum?
Yeah, so this is an item for the Daybreak Adult Healthcare Facility. They currently operate out of a building just north of Ralston Park, and they'd like to relocate to Winton Way. This is a new, this is an existing building that they're remodeling on Winton Way. And the reason that we're here tonight is for a variance with regard to the parking. Once the facility is up and running, their plan is to have, and this is how they operate now as well, is to have the clients that they work with are transported in. So there's not a big parking requirement, but in order to meet our requirements, we needed to go through this process. So that's why we're here tonight. So it's fairly simple, and the site plan approval is actually separate from, it didn't require us, particularly Planning Commission, but we did need to go through this process for the parking part of it. So if there's any questions, we're here to answer them. Thank you.
Any questions for staff? I did have just one question. Maybe you could just clarify. It did say something in the report concerning possibly extending parking into landscaped areas also. Is that part of the plan, or is the plan just to get a variance on what's existing?
The parking does need to change slightly because of striping for ADA parking spaces.
Correct.
So there's some minor changes, but overall there's going to be an entrance off of Fur, and then the the circulation is such that the exits on the north side on Grove.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll open the public hearing for any comments. Is the applicant here, or would they like to say anything to this project?
Good evening, Commission, City Manager. I just want to let you guys know that I think that this is a great addition to what has already been a good business in Atwater, a good community member, and I think that allowing this variance will help them better operate their business, and will actually, in the move, will provide better use for what they do and will benefit the town. So it's just my 2 cents, and I've had a lot of good interactions with this person, and I think that this is a good project.
Thank you. This is a great time to give us a little bit of information on your project too.
Sir, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us here. Yes, my name is Michael Chai. I'm the owner-operator and the program director for Daybreak Adult Day Healthcare Center here in the city of Atwater. The center has been faithfully serving the community for over 20 years. We take care of some of the most severely disabled medical beneficiaries here in the Atwater and Merced area. We transport them to and from the center, so all the participants arrive at the center using either public transportation or our center vehicles to transport them to and from their residence. They spend half a day with us. We provide them with medical, physical therapy, occupational therapy. We provide 2 meals a day to them. Most of them are wheelchair bound. Some of them are even nonverbal. The center, we're hoping to relocate to a much bigger facility. In fact, like what the city manager was saying, we're in the process of remodeling the center to become a state-of-the-art medical facility for long-term care, case management. In fact, we have social workers that are now canvassing the community visiting freeway overpasses, homeless abatement, mental health. We have a contract with Veterans Administration to provide healthcare services to veterans, as well as to people who are severely disabled. So we're very proud. We're very proud to be in partnership with so many other vendors, other providers, to focus on a much more holistic point of view of what is meant to provide a wholesome, sustainable, and yet something that we believe very strongly to kind of what we bring to the community, which is, in a nutshell, healthcare. And I'm very happy to be here, and I invite any one of you who would like to come and visit our center, not just this one, but also the one that we're in right now. We'll be proud to show you the services that we provide every single day.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
I have a question, a couple comments. Just a question in regards to the traffic flow. Was that there'll be entrance solely through Fur and exit on Grove, or how will that work? Just for clarification.
Good question. I think I spoke correctly when I said that it was entry only on the south side, or am I mistaken? Maybe we could get some. Is the project engineer here?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Jose Perez, and we have the clearances to provide entrance and entrance and exit through both north and south.
Okay.
But for circulation purposes, and especially if there are, and Michael can probably clarify, if there's going to be larger buses per se, then we would probably have entry only on the south side and exit.
Okay. Yeah. So let me clarify. So there's both ingress and egress on both, but I think I read in there that it seemed like the flow would be generally in that northern direction.
Thank you for that. And just my comment, well, a couple comments. Firstly, thank you for what you do. Very important and something that's near and dear for my heart. So thank you for that. And I would like to take you up on a visit for that. So I will call and schedule a time that I can stop by. Thank you for that.
Any other questions or comments? I have just one question for, so you were doing meals out of there before too. Are you still doing meals out of?
Our services includes, yes, sir, 2 meals. We contract with local vendors to provide meals for the participant, absolutely, for breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
Yes.
And then one for the developer. I've had experience with that particular building area and stuff, and I know there's a lot of drive-through traffic that comes through that parking lot and such on a regular basis. Is there some way that you're going to have traffic control at all, or something, or is that something you're just going to end up having to contend with?
Well, that's an excellent point. That was something that we have not discussed. I was unaware that was a concern with, I presume, with traffic. You said like
Right. There's a lot of people that use that to cut from one street to the other,
Yeah.
or a lot of parking for parents picking up students at school and stuff. So.
And thank you for bringing that up. That's something that definitely we'll have to discuss, see how it'll be.
We do plan to have, now these participants are very dear to me. I take pride in taking care of them because so many of them cannot speak for themselves. So when it comes to the traffic, we do plan to have some kind of a control access, some kind of a gate in which our participant could be safe.
Right.
After all, that's one of the most critical component of what we provide, which is a controlled and safe environment. So yes, absolutely. We're aware the schools there, and they use the parking to and from to drop off the students and their children. So yes, in the days ahead, we do plan to add that component into the
Right.
future.
It wasn't on the radar. I'm glad that you at least can know that it is on the radar, so.
Yes, sir. So
All right.
yes, absolutely. We want my focus has always been partnership. Something like this, taking care of people who cannot speak for themselves, rarely are accomplished by just average Joe like myself. It's critically imperative that I solicit and work in liaison with other resources and providers, and so that because it takes a village, it's very important for me, absolutely. So when the day comes, yes, we will for sure incorporate that component.
Thank you. Thank you for your services, too.
If I may add as well, so this project was routed to city engineering and everyone to verify that the roads that are used surrounding the project, they have the capacity and the load that they'll be able to take care of the traffic that is anticipated for the project, which is not substantial. It didn't meet any threshold for extensive review, in other words.
I just know a lot of the neighbors shortcut. Great. Thank you very much, sir. Anyone else want to comment? If not, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the board. So I'm seeking a motion to make a finding that the project is categorically exempt under California Environmental Quality Act CEQA guideline, section 15301A, existing facilities, and adopt resolution number 0263-24, approving variance number 24-33-0100 for parking on site plan number 24-33-0200, located at 1500 to 1590 Winton Way, Atwater, APN 002-150-023.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Kadich,
Yes.
Connor,
Yes.
Sanchez Garcia,
Yes.
Mocha,
Yes.
Borgort.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I will move on to item number 7, is the city manager verbal updates.
So I don't have a lot to report, other than, sometimes what should I say? There's a few things going on in the city. Generally speaking, we're gearing up for some economic development. There's a conference coming up called the International Council of Shopping Centers, where there's retailers and brokers, and we're looking at targeting some businesses for attracting the businesses to Atwater. At the same time, we're always looking for ways to retain existing businesses and help strengthen them. I've met with some of the local chambers of commerce, like the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and just looking for ways that we can help. And so I guess that's my report, is that's something that we're focusing on a lot, is economic development.
Great. And I see the Dutch Brothers broke ground finally.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah. So they'll start to go vertical, and that's pretty exciting.
Yes, that is. Okay, comments from the public. At this time, any person may comment on any item which is not on agenda. You may state your name and address for the record, however, it is not required. Action will not be taken on any item that is not on the agenda. If it requires action, it will be referred to staff and/or placed on a future agenda. Please limit the comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Are there any comments from the public? Seeing no comments, then we'll move on to commissioner matters. I will start to my left with our vice chairperson for this year. Commissioner Sanchez Garcia, do you have any comments?
Just a comment of, thank you for the opportunity to serve as the vice chair for the commission again this year, and looking forward to this year in Atwater and what we'll do as a city moving forward.
I did tell you I was going to be gone 6 of the months, right? Democratic.
Well, I'd like to welcome my favorite Marine, Mr. Connor, to the dais here. He's a good man. I've known him for a long time. His family, his parents, his siblings. So I'm excited, happy for you to be here. Yeah, good day in Atwater. It's good to be here in Atwater. Love to see all the growth that's happening. Love to see Dutch Brothers happening. So yeah, that's all I have.
Mr. Connor?
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here, excited to learn and grow, and just become a part of helping the city continue to grow in a positive direction. Thank you.
Great. And Commissioner Mocha?
I'm excited to see all the growth that's coming to Atwater. Very grateful for, the things that were on the Planning Commission that were presented today. That helps grow and build our community, and it hits areas that really do need help. Mr. Connor, excited to meet you and have you on board. And of course, the economic development that's coming to Atwater, I think is something that I'm very excited to look forward to.
Great. Yeah, I'd like to also echo that and just welcome you to the board. I think you'll be a great asset to the board, and you'll bring your type of personality and information to the board, which is really needed. I also wanted to make a comment. I visited a store recently. It's a new store over at the over by the Target and such. It's Mattress Firm over there. And so I visited that store. I wanted to make the comment that I was quite pleased with what she said about the city of Atwater and the reception. She said that Mr. Nelson and I think the Downtown Association actually did a ribbon cutting for her, which is really really wonderful for her. So I was glad to hear that she had gotten that, and she was impressed with being able to work through the city like she did, and get that at least greeting of hospitality and such over there. So another new store that's over there, and that's kind of filling up, and that's good for us, because that means that we're not getting a lot of vacancies around. So and Brad, I think you're still on are you not? Okay. So anyway, just wanted to say that was a good plus. So okay, if there is no other comments or anything to be made, then we will call this meeting adjourned.